Today on the channel, Jakks Classic Superstars Tag Teams Series 6. Welcome everyone, Kyle here, and welcome back again to the channel for our weekly deep dive into Jakks Classic Superstars. And today we're diving in Jakks Classic Superstars Series 6, the Tag Teams Toys R Us exclusive, as you guys remember from these other videos 1 through 5 maybe. We talked a little bit about the beginning, how Classic Tag Team Series 1 started off on fire. Then it kind of got a little weaker, but last week we did Series 5. Go check it out if you missed it. Ultimate Warrior Hulk Hogan, Demolition, Sergeant Slaughter, Colonel Mustafa. Really reignited the line for me. I was all in. I was buying all these anyways. But this really reignited the line with Series 5. That Demolition is a key piece in the Classic Superstars collection. That's a must-have if you're collecting Classic Superstars, especially the Tag Team Superstars. Demolition's a must-have. That reignited the line, got the excitement going again. I remember back in the day on some message boards and stuff, and then me personally saying, what are they going to do next? What's going to come in Classic Tag Team Series 6? Well, we got to it here, and we're going to talk about it. We're going to go through each one. Like usual, I'll put that out there. We didn't get announcements on Classic Tag Team Series 6, or really any of the Classic Tag Team sets. They just came out. They just showed up, and whoever found them first, usually California was my memories back in the day, usually got these first. And somebody would buy them off the store, out of the store at Toys R Us. They'd post the picture online. Then the rest of the world would know, here's what we're looking for. My local Toys R Us always seemed to hit really good Friday nights. I think they got their trucks Friday afternoon. A lot of that stuff was out by Friday night. That was the old pattern. I'm sure we all, collectors of a certain age that have been around a long time, you start to know the stock days of your stores. They usually get trucks on these days. These are the days it hits. I have a local Walmart by me. I know every Monday afternoon, for whatever reason, that's when the new stuff goes out. So I got to pick up the kids from school, stop by that Walmart real quick before or after. That's what you do. And that was no different back then. And that's how I found a lot of these Toys R Us figures over the years. But getting off subject, we're talking Classic Tag Team Series 6. Another good set. Was it as good with the Demolition? That Demolition one's pretty hard to top, but we have some heavy hitters in this one. We're going to talk about each one, and we're going to start with the Midnight Express, one of the greatest tag teams of all time. Talk about the excitement of this one being in the Classic Superstars. Totally deserved. I was so happy to have this in here. I'm a kid that grew up on NWA, WCW. The Midnight Express were a big deal for them. The NWA, WCW back in the day, but they were even a bigger deal down in, you know, other places they toured, Memphis, Bill Watts area, stuff like that. They made their name for many years, so we're really happy to get these in the tag team. I wanted more classic NWA tag teams, and this was the start. I said, all right, next up, Rock and Roll Express and all these other teams, and we got some of those, and we'll talk about those in future videos, but this was the start. This was very cool to get the Midnight Express. Unfortunately, no Jim Cornette. We would have loved a Jim Cornette figure. We'll talk about that a little bit more in the video as well. But that would have been great for a Walmart exclusive 3-pack Jakks Classic Superstars with Jim Cornette and the Midnight Express. But I'll take this. This is Stan Lane, Bobby Eaton. No Dennis Condrey in this one. I guess it depends on what age bracket you're in. Is Dennis Condrey your favorite? Bobby Eaton's the heart and soul, but is Dennis Condrey your favorite, or are you a Sweet Stan Lane guy? I grew up on Sweet Stan Lane. That's who came when I first remember seeing the Midnight Express. You guys can tell me in the comments what you thought and who you remembered. I'm sure there's some people that would have loved a Dennis Condrey instead of Sweet Stan, but the give and take as it goes, as one may say. But let's look at the packaging on this one. Traditional classic tag team packaging. Very cool there. You got the gold foil up top, the Classic Superstars logo. Then you got Bobby Eaton on the right, Stan Lane over here. And we got 2 title belts. I believe the NWA World Tag Team titles. I believe it's NWA. Gosh, I can't even tell. Maybe not. That's what I hate about these Jakks title belts. They're so hard to see. You can't read them because there's no color to them and stuff. Outside of the deluxe Jakks Classic Superstars title belts, which are the best title belts over anybody. Mattel, you name it, those are my favorites, and we'll talk about those in those videos. but a little hard to read the traditional Jakks belts. But you got Stan Lee, Bobby Eaton. Bobby Eaton kind of got the skinny fat man body. You don't see that body a whole lot. So very cool there. And Stan Lane. So there they are. The Midnight Express finally getting their just due. Getting a wide release here. I want to hope Mattel will one day come out with them. I'm not going to hold my breath. There's the old glamour shot on the side. And the back. And there's the whole lineup down below. You got the Hollywood Blondes. And you got Tito Santana, Rick Martel. You got the Strike Force. There you go. Let's read the back, see what it says about old beautiful Bobby and Sweet Stan. Bobby Eaton, debuted 1976, 235 pounds, 6 feet tall. Finishing move, the Alabama Jammer. Come on. It's the Alabama Jam. And my daughter was an expert at the Alabama Jam off the couch when she was little. She used to pull that out all the time. Stan Lane, debuted 1974, 224 pounds, 6'1". Finishing move, the Renegade Drop. I do not recall what the Renegade Drop was, but apparently that's his finisher. Always liked this set. Always thought it was a good pack. I love the body type on Bobby Eaton. It totally fits. I like this one so much. I did get a loose set back in the day. So we got Sweet Stan. We got Bobby Eaton. Let's see. Sweet Stan's good shape. Sweet Stan's in good shape, but Bobby Eaton came with loose arms, which drove me absolutely nuts. You guys see my Mattel unboxings. You see all my figure unboxings. There's nothing I hate more than loose limbs out of the package, and this Bobby Eaton went loose right out of the package. I remember just being heartbroken, defeated, and very upset with life when that happened. But there they are, the Midnight Express. I have them mixed into my NWA Mattel shelf until we get proper replacements. But you know, I had to also pick this bad boy up, the old Jim Cornette figure from FTC, Figures Toy Company. I don't know what to say about this besides it's pretty much hot garbage. I mean, it really is. The head's too big and doesn't really move very well. The paint applications are all over the place. But it does mix well with this Midnight Express team. So I had to have it. It represents... I don't foresee Mattel or any mainstream company releasing a Jim Cornette figure, unfortunately. Very controversial guy. So we're not getting any figures from him anytime soon outside of the FTC one. And FTC one leaves a lot to be desired. I'm sure that's not... somebody else shares that opinion with me, I would agree. But it is what it is. The glasses won't stay on his head. He didn't come with a tennis racket. There's a lot of work that needs done on this figure. But for what it is, for what we have with Jim Cornette, it works with these Jakks figures. Wouldn't work with Mattel. He's too big. Really too big for this too. But a cool way to represent at least Jim Cornette. Say what you want about him. He was an important part of the business for many, many years. A big part of my childhood and probably a lot of you WWF kids as well growing up in the new generation with Yokozuna and stuff like that. Jim Cornette's been around. So I would like a Mattel Jim Cornette. I hope it happens, but I could give you a list of 50 managers I'd love from Mattel one day, and I don't know if that's going to happen. But there you have it. There it is, the Midnight Express Jakks Classic Superstars. Let's take a look at our old buddies in Strike Force. All right, next up in Jakks Classic Tag Team Series 6, Toys R Us exclusive. These are always such a mouthful. We've got Tito Santana, Rick Martel, Strike Force. I loved Strike Force as a kid. I remember being all in on Strike Force. I thought they were a cool tag team. I remember liking them a lot. What was that song they had? Girls in Cars or something like that. It was really cheesy. Anyways, I remember when they broke up, and that was really my first remembrance of a little kid. There was maybe something before, but that was the first one that really stuck with me, where a tag team broke up. And, you know, Tito obviously went to the good side and went farther down in his career. If you ask me, Rick Martel went a little farther up in his career from that breakup there. Rick Martel, really weird career for Rick Martel. You know, AWA champion, into WWE, WWF, tag teams, then to the model, going up the card there. Really should have had an Intercontinental title run, if you ask me. Then retired for a while, then came back in WCW like a young guy again, and then slowly retired, now disappeared from wrestling. So Rick Martel's kind of been all over the place. Very interesting. But like I said, first time I remember a tag team breaking up as a kid. So it was, I don't want to say traumatic, but I remember saying, holy cow, I can't believe this is happening. Can't believe Rick would turn on Tito like that. But an interesting set. You know, we got the model in the traditional Classic Superstar set. We got Tito Santana in the traditional Classic Superstar set. We also got Tito, I believe, in the Jobbers 3-pack, as it was known back in the day. We'll talk about that when we get into the 3-pack videos. So Tito was represented. Martel had a few figures, and then you brought them together as Strike Force. I like this figure, and actually this figure you would think would probably be the peg warmer of the set. Not in my area. There was really no peg warmers in this set. They all kind of went off the shelf before the next set came out, I guess we'll say. There was no overlapping of sets. So I don't know if there just wasn't as many of these made, or hey, Tito and Rick Martel, they struck a chord in the Midwest and took all of our hearts, and they never let go, and everybody wanted them. I don't know. I don't know if that's the case, but this set does come with the WWF Tag Team titles. Very interesting, and this might be the first time, and I'm just going off the top of my head here, the first time we saw these kind of like track jackets. We later saw him with Arn and Tully, and a few other times, I believe. Some of the 3-packs with Arn and Tully as well. But they used them for Tito and Rick Martel here. So I know some people don't like those kind of things, especially in the Hasbro days. Never bothered me. This never bothered me. I wasn't playing with my toys then, but as a kid, I never had issues with track jackets, like the Roddy Piper figure. You know, you had a t-shirt on, or Teddy DiBiase. I still played with those. It didn't really bother me at all when they had their jackets on. Would I have loved soft goods for these two? Yeah, sure I would, but we weren't quite in the day and age where soft goods were really used all the time, and they're not even used all the time now. So there you have it. So I wasn't really offended by this pack, but I remember people kind of complaining, I don't like the track jackets. I wish they were in just their tights or their trunks or whatever. I don't know. I think it gives them, for being one that I don't have open, I think this one looks pretty good to me. Only nitpick I would maybe have is I'd like to see them match. Their shirts match, but what do you do? So there it is, the old classic packaging. Tag titles in the middle like that. I always liked how they put the tag titles in the middle. You got Tito Santana, you got Rick Martel. Tito's got the full-on jacket. He's not messing around. He gets cold. You know, he is from Mexico, of course, so he gets a little cold when, you know, the 50s hit. That's like winter to some people for Tito, so he had to have a jacket. Where Rick Martel, you know, he's from Canada. He's up from north. He just wears a shirt. You know, hey, this is nothing to me. I get it. I'm a little bit Rick Martel, too. I'm used to the cold weather. There you go. And on the sides here, a little glamour shot of the figures. And what do we got here? There it is. Strike Force. Always thought it was a really cool name. Very fitting in the G.I. Joe world of the 80s. You know, Strike Force. It just seemed like something out of G.I. Joe or Cops or something. And there you go. You got the glamour shots on the back. Old Tito looking to the stars. And Rick looking the other way. I don't know what they're looking at, but who knows. There it is. You got the whole lineup down below. The Midnight Express, Strike Force, the Hollywood Blondes. 3 truly tag teams in this set, which I thought was really cool. You know, we always, for a while, we were getting all these feuds, and we were getting managers, and now we got actually 3 legit tag teams. Very cool there. Tito Santana debuted 1976, 234 pounds, height 6'2", finishing move, the flying forearm. I don't know for a fact, but I feel like Tito might have debuted before 1976. I don't know if that's right. I'm sure it was the 70s somewhere, but that seems weird. I always assumed Tito Santana was older than Rick Martel. Maybe I'm wrong, but I always assumed that. And that goes to saying right here. So Rick Martel debuted 1972. So did he debut 4 years before Tito Santana? Somebody can do the math and look that one up. I'm not going to research it, but it seems kind of fishy. I don't know if they're switched around or what, but I don't know. Rick Martel, weight 236 pounds, height 6 feet tall, finishing move, the Boston Crab. So yeah, Rick Martel went on to a more storied career, I guess, in my book, but they're pretty close. You know, Tito was an Intercontinental Champion, El Matador, of course, a stalwart of the WWF for a long time, even the WWF. But for me, Rick Martel had a bigger career. Maybe not the longevity of Tito, but you know, he came back late in WCW, I thought, to a really good and TV title feud and stuff like that. The model character was the best of any of the gimmicks between the two, I think. But then he was also AWA champion, losing to Stan Hansen way back in the day. So, for my money, Rick Martel had the better career. But I love this 2-pack. Say what you want. I like it. I'm glad it's in the tag teams. And I'm glad they went with the 3 tag teams for this set. More tag teams, the better, if you ask me. So there you have it. There's Strike Force. Let's finish it off with the Hollywood Blondes. All right, let's finish off Classic Tag Team Series 6 with one of my favorite tag teams in the 90s, and we're talking about the Hollywood Blondes. Brian Pillman, Flying Brian Pillman, or just Brian Pillman, and Stunning Steve Austin. I've talked before in these videos. Stunning Steve Austin was a favorite of mine as a kid, going all the way back to USWA, GWF, early career, then him going to WCW, all the way up through the Dangerous Alliance, all of that stuff. I loved Stunning Steve Austin. I loved the long blonde hair. I loved the robes. I just was a huge fan. And it's funny, when he became Stone Cold Steve Austin, it just did not click with me. I don't know if I was just, I don't know. I know everybody else had Stone Cold madness. I miss Stunning Steve madness. I just liked him better in that personality and that persona. I also didn't like the brawling. I mean, I like brawling, don't get me wrong, but I liked his more technical wrestling and stuff back in the day, where when he got Stone Cold, he was more beaten down, more injured, neck issues. He was more of a brawler type wrestler. Nothing against that. There is a place for that. I do like that. But as far as in-ring work, I always liked Stunning Steve's time. And then when he formed the team with Brian Pillman, I thought it was just next level. I thought it was the greatest thing ever. I always really wanted them to join with Arn and Flair and be the Four Horsemen there. We did get Brian and the Horsemen. Austin, unfortunately, never got in there. But I always thought that would have been a great Four Horsemen group with the Hollywood Blondes, Flair, and Anderson. But I was so stoked when this was announced, because I always wanted a Hollywood Blondes. We've got them now, kind of. We've recently got this Stunning Steve released in the Mattel Elite line. You get an old Pillman. I still got to do it. I got to do a little Mr. Wizard video where I'll do some head swapping and stuff. And I'll make that Brian Pillman to match up the Hollywood Blondes for my Mattel case. So we've kind of got these. I don't know if we'll get an actual Mattel Hollywood Blondes Brian Pillman. Maybe in the future. Who knows? But this was a game changer back in the day. I was so excited to get this one. This one flew off the shelves. There was a lot of fond memories of the Hollywood Blondes back here in 2006, 2007. Let's see, 2007. So there was a lot of looking back. Obviously, Stone Cold was popular. He'd already had his huge run. It was kind of a good throwback to the Jakks Classic Superstars, giving us not just Stone Cold all the time, but giving us old personas as well. So really a game changer pack. Loved it. We talked about the other packs. This is also a tag team set. 3 tag teams in Series 6. So they really hit it out of the park. And I always say Series 5 started a new hot run for the Jakks tag team sets. So let's look at the packaging on this one. It's the familiar Jakks Classic tag team packaging that we know and love. This one did come with a ladder, which we're really accustomed to getting ladders and tables and stuff. Heck, you can go to Ringside Collectibles. Use discount code Kyle, save 10%. But you can go to Ringside Collectibles. You could buy a table right off of their website, just a table to use. But back then, it was hard to get tables, hard to get ladders. We didn't have that kind of stuff. So getting a ladder with this one was pretty cool, because there wasn't a ton of ladders like there are now out and about in people's collections. But very cool. They both got their vests on. Very similar figures. There you go. With the Hollywood Blondes on the side. And you got the glamour shots. You got old Stunning Steve with his hair short, just like he had it in Brian Pillman as well. Let's see, did they misspell anything? Hollywood Blondes. There you go. Crazy. It's crazy how some of these Jakks figures, they misspelled stuff on the sides. Usually I can't see when I'm turning the camera, so I just forget to mention it. But they do some misspellings from time to time. Little quality control mishaps. Brian Pillman debuted 1986, 228 pounds, 5'10". Finishing move, the Air Pillman. Debuted in 86, that's probably about right. Now this one's probably wrong. Steve Austin debuted 1976. Now we know that's not right, so I don't know what happened there. Weight 255 pounds, 6'2". Finishing move, the stun gun. I love the stun gun. That was a great move, dropping their neck over the top rope. Love that one a lot. So there you have it, a very solid set. One thing I will know is there's some smudging on my vest, on my Brian Pillman in here. It's just out of the factory that way, so that's a little annoying. I don't know if everybody's was that way, or I just was the lucky one. So there's that. I forgot this comes with a chair as well, kind of hidden over the side, so you got a ladder and a chair. You're almost there to a TLC match. So that's very cool as well. I was going to say I thought these were the same, but they do have different body types, even though they got the same hands and everything else. But a very solid pack. One that you definitely would want to pick up, especially if you're a Steve Austin fan, Brian Pillman fan, WCW fan, Jakks completist. There's a lot of windows this would go into if you're a collector, so this is one you most likely are going to want to pick up if you're into this kind of stuff. So that's it for Series 6. What a great series it was. We're going to keep on. We'll be back next week with Series 7. And then once we get the tag teams done, we'll put up a poll on my YouTube or on the Twitter or something like that. Twitter at SirPaul64. Instagram, _Kyle_Peterson. Obviously, you're seeing the YouTube, so make sure you like, comment, and you subscribe. Comment on this video with your thoughts and all that kind of fun stuff about the Jakks history and Jakks Series 6. Subscribe to the channel, of course. But we'll put a poll up. We got to decide what we're going to do next. Will we do the 3-packs? Will we do the exclusives? Will we do some of the miscellaneous stuff? Will we do the box sets? Will we do the deluxe classics? Will we do the ring giants? There's a lot of Jakks Classic Superstars meat on the bone still to get through. We got a long ways to go with these videos. And as things have been going for the last like 40 weeks, every single Tuesday, we're dropping a new Jakks video. So stay tuned. Next week, Jakks Series 7. In the meantime, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe like I said. And for Jakks Series 6, I'm Kyle. I'll see you guys all real soon.